Welcome to the locker. Season 6, I believe. Episode 2. I do know I'm A White, and I do know to my right, depending how y'all look, to my right is Van House. What's going on, man?
Anthony, man. Look, y'all, we are late because of me.
Come on, man. We
Look,
don't.
y'all. No, I got to get this off my chest because it just happened. Y'all, if you don't know, I'm an engineer. I own my own consultant company, whatever. The only reason I went into that is my first job. You have to put in 8 hours, right? To get your job done. But when you have 4 hours of meetings, that means you got to work 12 hours. Because if you don't reach your benchmarks every week, people come and look at you. So even though you have meetings that last 4 hours, you can't say, "Oh, I only can work 4 more hours," because that 4 hours is not going to allow you to get your work done. So my biggest thing is I don't want to do that. So that's why I started my own company. So I ain't got to go to meetings because I'm not part of the company. Well, sometimes you have to be a part of a meeting. I was in a meeting that's supposed to end, but there's always somebody. There's always somebody. When the leader of the meeting says, "All right, guys, I'm done." Anybody else have anything to say? Yeah, I got something to say. Yeah.
Oh, it's always one.
So y'all, I apologize for being late because we had a couple people who had to talk about something that was actually outside the framework of what the meeting was called for. So,
Man, how's this where I'm gonna start?
That's corporate America.
This is where I'm gonna start at, man. And we came, and we reiterate for our 6th season, we do not have pregame show. Like we do not have pregame meetings. This show is premised off of us texting, talking, man, what's going on over there? And we going back and forth. We never thought that it would be interesting to the to just UK fans. So it was like, then Van, well, no, you at that point you really wasn't on Twitter heavy.
No, I wasn't.
So we was just kind of like, man, these people. So we started talking about what y'all was talking about. Like, look, and we telling y'all from inside the locker room what's going on, how the name became the locker. But the point was, we don't have pregame. Like, we don't come in here with a spiel. We better spit to y'all. We don't know what topics gonna come up. But I got a topic that I do want to talk about.
Woo!
It ain't this and it ain't that. I was on Dick Gabriel this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually today, but it aired today. But Van House. No, I'm saying it's gonna go full circle. Like we gonna talk about it because it's gonna be a lot of stuff to divulge. John Calipari is sucking. Pause.
Yes.
Well, ain't no pause. He can suck if he want to. But, and I'm saying when John Calipari left, I kind of felt like, well, we gonna be sorry. We gonna be sorry because we wasn't gonna be able to get the talent we were getting in.
Because he left late. Yeah.
Yeah. Did not know. I figured we get Hurley in here. We get X's and O's. Basketball is basketball. It's been basketball before you was born, before I was born.
Yep.
We ain't get Hurley, but we got an up and comer. Like Pope talks, sleeps, eats, shits. Basketball. Like all of his terminology, I can understand. I can understand what his expectations are. He knows the other team's rosters. He knows their strengths and their weaknesses. He knows where they're vulnerable. He knows where we are weak. It ain't run fast, grab the ball. You got to score more points. That's stupid shit. But here's what it correlates to our show. Correlates to our show because You and I both do not have our football team going 500. I ain't gonna say what we got them going. We don't have them going 500.
Correct. For the first time in a long time.
For first time in a long time. After you done put your signature on it, you done established your dominance. Now here's the difference, and here's where I differ, and here's where I think this conversation is gonna start. Probably ain't gonna end because we're gonna go on something else, but John Calipari was bringing top talent there. He couldn't coach. He was rolling the ball out. Hey man, if they can make it, shit. If you get Anthony Davis and a Kid Gilchrist and just some people who can high IQ players, they gonna figure basketball out themselves. You just give them the basketball. But when John Calipari, I mean not John Calipari, when Mark Stoops first came here, it was more or less, man, we just want some hard-nosed guys. Lynn Bowen was hard-nosed. Benny Snell, Josh Allen. I mean, you go
Mike Bohanna. That's my dude.
Edwards. Like I'm talking these guys. When these dudes came in here, you weren't looking on your top 50, top 100 for these guys that we were. Mike Edwards, that one was still in the league doing his thing.
Got two football rings.
I mean, Josh Allen. But my point was, it was back then they grinded. I remember meeting Josh Allen at a youth football camp. Man, dude was attentive to what I was saying. Not that he had to be, but it was just different because most of these young dudes, like, oh man, you an old head. I ain't trying to hear. But Josh, man, I heard you had like 3,000 some yards. That's wild, man. I was like, I know, man. Hey, man. So basically, he understand that he. And that's a kudos to me. Nobody else has to really respect that. But damn, like, okay, cool. You know what it is? So he just started. I met him he didn't expect me to be there. So it ain't like he prepared to speak to me. He was like, oh yeah, whoop. So I go to this. Man, this is what kind of concerns me. John Calipari is sucking. And I'm not mad at the reset that the Stoops has going on here. Bring in new talent. We filling up that that wide receiver room. We getting edge rushers. We bringing offensive line. We talked about offensive linemen last week. I don't know if that's the key. I mean, we just got to get that solidified, whatever. But we are addressing the issues we have in the room, and we have the NIL budget. We bringing that back in. So we are where we are with that. My point is, when you look at, I wasn't 100% sure of Cal. Cal did us a solid and left, and we didn't have to buy him out. Saved us a bunch of damn money because, hey, man, I'm the coldest Crawford. Like, I'm just going to leave. Like, I could be successful anywhere. He find out that ain't true. My question to you is this, and I know the listeners going to be, the antennas are going to go up. And I know, I talked to you off air. I know what happened at Texas A&M. So does Stoops have the cachet to say, man, y'all don't appreciate what I've done here? I'm gone, like Cal Perry did. And then comes John Summerall.
So many differences to that. Mark Stoops doesn't have the cachet John Calipari has. Just period. He doesn't have the cachet.
Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I heard somebody talk about this earlier, and this pissed me off. John Calipari came into a program, and he did not equalize the expectations the fans have had for 50, 60 years. Mark Stoops has set the expectations you have. So I'm going to let you continue. But no, he does not have what John Calipari has, because John Calipari, if you say, I want you to play basketball for me, and you say Kentucky, you automatically got a shot, period. Like, it has nothing to do with nothing else.
Yeah.
Now, when you say, I want you to play football for me, I'm telling you, I went through this. I don't know how you ended up here. Kentucky? Hold on. The reason I ended up here, because I did some research and was like, hey, I was a Big Ten kid. I was raised up a Big Ten kid. So you know what I mean? And I was, damn, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. Let me go see what that's about. Not knowing if I was gonna get my whole head knocked off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just Mark Stoops can't do what Calipari did. They just can't. He just can't do that. He just doesn't have that ability. Anthony, when Calipari left,
Right.
Calipari could have probably went almost anywhere he wanted to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If Mark Stoops decides to leave, Mark Stoops can't go anywhere he wants to go. Period. There's no even guessing about it. He can't. So for example, let's say if Bill Self was like, I think I'm leaving Kansas. Kansas might have tapped into Calipari. Let's say if what's UNC coach Hubert. If Hubert left UNC would contact Calipari to see his interest. Not saying they was going to hire him.
Right.
I'm not saying guarantee. He's going there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those UConn, if he left, if Hurley decide I want to go to NBA to the Lakers, Calipari would have been one of the first guys they call, right? If Alabama loses DeBoer, if Penn State loses James Franklin, if Ohio State lose Ryan Day, if LSU lose Brian Kelly, Mark Stoops is not on their top 10 list. Come on, Anthony. Don't give me that. Come on, Anthony. All right, top 10. Let's say top 5.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna challenge you with this. He has in the SEC, he has gotten coaches to recognize and fear, or at least recognize Kentucky football program. Hold on. You know what the allure of getting a guy to come to Kentucky is? Prime example, Mark Pope, BYU. You come to Kentucky, your recruiting, those resources, time, not money, the time resources of getting guys. No, you're gonna have an influx of people wanting to come. You get to choose who you want to do it. Mark Stoops has showed that when he came to Kentucky, he can win. And like I said, he done knocked a lot of these dudes upside the head. Lane Kiffin can't say nothing right now. Hold on. I'm not going against you. Me and you, we see eye to eye on what you're saying. But I'm thinking the point is, and this is one thing you may not be giving enough credit to, this is Mark Stoops' first job.
I don't want it to be deemed as disrespect because I have to look. The one of the few guys who have been defending Stoops is me. So I'm not demeaning or shooting down or diminishing his accomplishments here. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, no fans. I mean, you just proved at Texas A&M. There was some influencer who didn't want him at Texas A&M. And the guy that got at Texas A&M is Mark Stoops, Spider-Man. They point at each other. Same guy. The only thing different is Elko coached at Texas A&M. They are no different. They are the exact same guy. The defensive coordinator. They are exactly the same person. What I'm saying is that from a national side, from a fan base side, Mark Stoops doesn't infuse enthusiasm. To the average fan, he's not. I'm just being real. Because look, people here in Baton Rouge
want to be. I don't give a damn who you want to be.
People down in Baton Rouge do not want Mark Stoops on the list. They don't even want. If Brian Kelly, they don't even want him on the list.
They ain't the brightest people. They're not the brightest people either.
That Anthony, there are some people in BBE that are not the brightest people.
They compassionate though.
So I'm just saying, right? I mean, for me, as a guy who went through a 1-10 season, and not saying that anybody is the greatest coach ever. to knock a guy down and say the things that I've heard that's been said about a guy who brought you the best 5 years in UK history, for people to say the things that they have said and to say, well, that don't, I've heard people say, well, those are mediocre years. Those are not mediocre years for our program. Well,
absolutely right. You're absolutely
so basically, he had 2 great years and a lot of mediocre years. Them 7 and 8 wins, some 7-win seasons were elite.
Historical. That's historical numbers, man.
We were happy to get the 6 wins, just to get the bowl game. So, what I feel, and many people will disagree, but a guy doesn't forget how to coach. If he got you 2 10-win seasons, unless you want to say he didn't give you a 2 10-win season, that was all because of something else. If you want to say that, then why even have a head coach? Why have a head coach, right? The guy has put us through, the guy has elevated expectations to a point where he's even not succeeding according to his he raised the bar. This is not a bar raised by someone else. He raised the bar. John Calipari came into a bar that was already raised. He didn't
come into it when it was raised, but he came into expectations that were
right.
He came in on the spinning side, man.
No, but what I'm saying is,
right.
We're BBN. We expect, we don't, as many fans say, we don't hang up Final Four banners. We don't hang up SEC championship banners. We only hang up championship banners.
Right.
For football, if we win if we finish regular season number 1, that banner is going up. We can lose the SEC championship. It don't matter. Winning a regular season title, a banner is going up. So I've said that many times, Brian.
That is true.
There's some 20-year-olds.
That's shit.
There's some 20-year-olds that only know winning football.
But them hold on, but these millennials are 20-year-olds still millennials? They might be on the cusp, but the point is, them motherfuckers, their expectations is unrealistic. But Brian got a hell of a point. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that is exactly right. Because it's hard for a 1900s baby to make younger people understand that I love y'all zest for wanting to make a playoff or wanting to win an SEC championship, because on paper, anyone can win. But you also have to understand, look at the history of football. There's only been different teams that won a national championship. Since the BCS, there's only been a handful of teams, and most of them been SEC teams.
Right.
So it's like, be realistic. So what you're telling me, because someone I've heard say, well, if you do this, you do that, the player's going to come. That's a lie. Why would I pass up Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, LSU, etc., to come to Kentucky? Why would I bypass Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan to come to Kentucky? Like, you're asking a lot when you're in-state, when you don't produce enough volume of in-state talent to buoy that. If you can create 30 players on a team that's only from Kentucky, then you can start hand-picking things. We got to build depth from outside of Kentucky. We can't go get a star player from California and pay him all the money because we got these local guys that want to come play. We got to build depth from Ohio, Florida, Tennessee, wherever. We got to build the backups from that. When, like LSU, your backups are probably from the state of Louisiana. In Georgia, your backups are from the state of Georgia. Tennessee, your backups from the state of Tennessee. And then I can pick a guy from here, from there. For Ohio State, they're players from Ohio, Michigan, and State. Then I can go find a guy from Pennsylvania or wherever. That's the difference. We got to build an entire roster from outside the state of Kentucky.
Hey, Brian, as you should.
Facts.
Brian, as you should.
You should,
if
Brian.
they do that, Brian, I'm gonna stand on business with the locker. And if they do that, me, you, and Van gonna take a picture together.
Facts. I'm
Them
gonna say this,
100%
Anthony.
facts.
Look, this other thing, and then I'm gonna stop. In this conference, because now it's not divisions. It would have been easier when it was divisions, because now if you beat Georgia, you had a chance. Or when I play, you beat Florida, you have a chance. Now, since there's no divisions, it became increasingly harder to get the SEC championship. Now you got to be consistently better than Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, LSU, and Tennessee. You got to be better than all those in that combined in that 1 year. Come on, man. You really, when we went 9-3, we will still rank like 4 in the conference. I want y'all to realize that. The 2 times we finished 9-3, I think we were both 4 or 5 in a conference. 4 or 5 is probably not getting you to the college playoff. You're gonna have to go 10-2. And 10-2, if you look at the history of the conference, don't guarantee you number 1 or number 2 in the conference. Most of the time, number 1 is undefeated, and the team is number 2 lost to the undefeated team, so they're 11-1.
I'm gonna ask you this. Based off this conversation we have, and currently,
that's a fact.
So Mark, it could be. That's why I don't like that. And to be honest, man, I don't want to offend nobody. That's why I don't follow. I followed a lot of people a long time ago on Twitter just because I thought, follow and follow back. My thing is, Van speaks about what he knows. I speak about what I know. KSR is a whole nother different story. All I want to do is just want facts. I just want facts. That's why I'm late on news. If the news if you get news from me, you better believe it's authentic. And that's why I don't divulge until somebody else does. Because I can tell you a lot of stuff, and Van wants to go Patreon, but I will say, so my point is, I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter because you get a whole lot of news that ain't going on. There's a lot of news going around that Mark Stoops, coach for the Raiders, Mark Stoops, the coach for so-and-so. Van House, is it possible, just because of the job he's done here, and you bet not discredit him, you bet not. I don't know how your grandmama voice sounds.
Bet not.
But you bet not discredit him for saying that he came here and turned his program around. Yeah, our fan base may not appreciate it, but 10-win seasons, he had 2 of them hoes. And prior to that, we had 1.
And when was that?
I wasn't even born.
50s.
I wasn't even born. You might have been born.
Yeah, I was thought of.
Your parents were courting.
And Cobby Cobb brought up a good thing, good point about a failure to adjust to new trends and circumstances. That's not true. See, if you want to say that about Calipari, fine. You can't say that about Stoops. Because Stoops told y'all ass a while ago to pony up, and y'all got pissed off. Because he knew what was coming. He knew what was coming. Stoops found his quarterback in the second 10-win season where? In the portal. He knew what was coming up. What Stoops did, what Stoops did, that was the biggest faux pas in him. And you could not do what he did, because that's the next level. Is he wanted to improve recruiting to the next level. Sometimes I want people to understand this, and we have talked about this probably season 2. There is a big difference between a low 4-star and a high 4-star. Even though we was getting 4 stars, we were not getting the elite 4 stars. We was not getting the guys who were almost 5 stars. So if you really think about it, what's the difference between a high 3 and a low 4? Nothing but somebody evaluation. Right?
Hold on. I'm gonna do one solid better.
Okay.
And Kentucky has lived, and tell me if I'm wrong, to Kentucky from what you said. And you're the one who brought me on to this, was that you're saying a low 4-star, a high 4-star, whatever. After Ohio State, Michigan, whatever people pick over what they want from Ohio, if we, like you said, we get a 4-star from Ohio, it wasn't the one that Ohio State wanted or Michigan wanted. But we did live there for a while because we brought them there for them to show themselves. So when you said, I want people to understand, like when you just saying it generally speaking, because like you said, Kentucky don't have a whole lot of they don't have no 5-stars, right? Is what I thought you told me.
When, like this recent?
No, like I said, in general, like the Kentucky's just recruit. Now, I'm not saying us university, the state don't have 5-stars.
Yeah, I don't think they ever had a 5-star. Someone have to tell me.
Right. So what I'm saying is, so if you get a top 4-star from Kentucky, we do get to pick and choose who we want. But shit, if Alabama want them, Tennessee want them, South Carolina, Ohio State want them, we still, and that's kind of where I want everybody to understand when you saying not this 4-star, that 4-star. Yeah, if it's a fringe, if it's a 5-star, and I told I thought I told Dick Gabriel and Larry Vaught this, was I was looking on the transfer portal, man. You know what number stars I don't see transferring?
5.
Not a 1.
Not a 1. Not a 1.
Not a 1.
Not now 1.
Nary, what they say down here. Nary.
No. But so what Mark Stoops did is he dipped his toe. You know how you go my parents have a pool, right? And there's from 3 to about 5 feet is very gradual. Like it's slow. But when that thing go from 5 to 10, it is a cliff. Okay? Mark Stoops went out off a cliff with him going for the 4 stars. I'm telling y'all, when we ate on 3 stars and solid 3 stars, we were successful. I don't think we had many 4-star players on those 2 10-win seasons. Once you dip your toe in the diva pool,
over there with Diddy,
ain't nothing wrong with the diva pool. But if you go in a diva pool, your locker room leadership better be on point. I mean, locked down. We didn't have that lockdown leadership in the locker room. And that was the problem. In this last year, as we said last week, this last year showed that we didn't have. I would say this, Anthony, if I'm wrong, I'm going to throw out some names. If we had DeAndre Square, Jock Jones, we had Stenberg or Drake Jackson or Wandale Robinson, or let's say even Will Levis in the locker room, I don't think we go 4-8. And I'm not talking about the talent level. Let's skip the talent level. Let's say they're in the body of someone who's already on the team, but their leadership comes through in that person.
Yeah.
This team doesn't go 4-8 with someone like a DeAndre. If Derek Jackson had DeAndre Square leadership qualities, if Pop played here 4 years, if we had an offensive lineman that was like Drake Jackson or Stenberg, if Brock was like Will Levis, not that's in here, this team doesn't go 4-8. I think the team goes 8-4 or at least 7-5. The
6-6. You got
the bottom doesn't fall. You don't beat Ole Miss and then the bottom falls out.
And take Georgia to 1 point.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
So this team this year, it was a locker room issue. And some people say it's an NIL issue, but it's not an NIL issue if you have the right people in the locker room. Now, when you don't, it's kind of like we talked about many years ago, how we don't like how Stoops allows certain things to go. The discipline of the team in 2018 ain't no different than the discipline of the team in 2024. The difference is they won and it had leaders.
Yeah.
That's the difference. They won and fans overlooked the discipline issues of Jordan Jones and Cash Daniels and Stenberg jumping outside. Now we get mad because Yager Burton always holds somebody in the worst. Dude, we have outside penalties. Logan jumped outside so many times, but it was okay because we won 9 regular season games.
Right.
That's undisciplined, y'all. You can't hold your water for the snap. That's undisciplined. But it was okay because the end results were the majority of the times W's. Now, when it gets to 4 and 8, when the majority we win one game in conference, now it's like Mark Stoops becomes an undisciplined team. Dude, where were y'all 5 years ago? When we were saying on this show, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that our team is undisciplined.
Yeah.
But it was all great when y'all could rub shoulders with Big Dog at Jeff Ruby's. It was all good when you can go, hey, that's my ball coach. That's my head ball coach over there, Mark Stoops up in Jeff Ruby's. But now y'all want to chastise them for doing the same thing they were doing 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, I said my biggest thing is, like we said last week, my biggest thing is that, like you said, we were at a position where they wanted to. Well, there's some undisciplinary act. There's a lot of undisciplined things that went on the football team, and like you said, it started in the locker room. Jock Jones came on here and told us. I was like, well, like you told us, if you late to a meeting, whatever, no, coaches ain't got nothing. You got to answer to Marty. You got to answer to whoever the people was. I'm saying it was the same thing when I was there. So when we had a Jock, like the stuff was going on, he just shook his head and shrugged, like, what you mean? Y'all couldn't get with him? He straight up said no. How the hell can you tell? Coach, I'm the one I heard battling. Because by the same token, if this joker don't make his read, if he don't do something, and I get my leg undercut and I get my leg broke, I'm going to be pissed. So I want you paying attention in meetings. I want you here when you're supposed to be in meetings. I want you weightlifting to make sure you can compete in this conference. Anytime you let them get away with something, but I will say this, same thing I said on Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel tonight. And the game has changed, and I know you just got into coaching. The game is changing a little bit, Van. We can't be the old man saying get off my lawn. But I will say there is something about, man, put them players in charge. Put the pressure on the players so they be in charge. Like they say, Bill Belichick could cuss out the star player from the rip. Tom Brady. So if he cussed Tom Brady out, I don't stand a chance. I'm saying one thing that has helped Mark Stoops out most of the times, he's been the players' coach. The players love him. They're going to stay. Deion Walker stayed but this is Patreon stuff we give you for free. And I know everybody know this. Deion probably, I'm going to say this, man. Deion probably may not even go first round, dude.
No, he ain't. He's not.
Because he came back a year and worked his tail off under our boy? Is that why he's not going first round?
Why?
I'm asking you. I know why. Man.
How many times have we talked about this? What happens when you come back an extra year?
You better have something. You better have a chip on your shoulder.
They got more film on you, extra time to scrutinize.
But he had to come back though.
Right. You're right. He only had 2 years. But when you come back and you don't put your foot on throats, here's the thing, man. In life, there's always somebody else. There's 100 and something D1 schools. That means there are at minimum 101 guys at your position. Probably at least a third of them is a junior or a senior.
Right.
And if you and then now with the NIL and the portal, you got some transfer from the D2 or whatever. Now you got even more of an influx, more of a saturation of your position. If you don't come the next year when people about to scrutinize your film even more and not create tape, not look, I want people to understand this. One great thing, not one of the many great things Coach Smith told me. I'm gonna say this because I remember this stuff. I want y'all to remember the good plays because I only remember the bad ones.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So I only see the bad plays.
Yeah.
I want you to be confident in your ability by only seeing the good one. But I'm gonna harp on the bad one. So all these GMs, we know y'all are talented because if not, you wouldn't be on my board.
Yeah.
So like I said in high school, anyone can create a highlight tape. If you can't create a highlight tape in high school of at least 15 minutes, you don't deserve to get a scholarship. So don't tell me you can't create a solid highlight tape from high school. All right. If I'm looking at your film and I'm seeing 5, 6, 10, 12 negative plays, no effort plays, not finishing plays, I don't care how athletic you are. How big was London Fletcher, Anthony? 5'11"?
If that. I'll say 5'9", 5'10".
London Fletcher was a dog because he didn't put no bad film on tape.
Yeah.
Put some bad film on tape and your ass is going to drop. So Dion was, Anthony, we talked on this show. Dion came in this year to me as a potential top 10 pick.
Yeah. His definitely first half.
Borderline top 5.
Yeah.
Because how many guys his size where you can put him at nose, you can put him at a 3 tech, you can put him at a 1 tech, you can put him at a 4-eye, you can put him at he can play anywhere on the defensive
dropped
front.
him a couple times. Shit.
Yeah, you don't find that. Someone can play nose and play outside. That don't happen. So he had a chance to be a top 5 pick if he had a great year. The year he had was underwhelming. Now the thing is, y'all, this is not just a defensive lineman draft. This is a draft of all 22 positions with 32 teams. Is he a top 5 defensive lineman now? Probably not. So if you're not a top 5 defensive lineman, know who goes. I want you to understand who goes.
We need money makers. We need money makers, yeah.
Quarterbacks, defensive ends, offensive tackles, wide receivers, cornerbacks. Them jokers are going multiple in one round. You're going to get 3 quarterbacks first round. You're probably going to get 3 to 4 offensive tackles. That right there is 7 picks out of 32. Before we even get to a defensive end. So, Anthony, look, Dion gave us some good years. I would be shocked if he got drafted in the 2nd round right now. I said something. I'm sorry. Hey, click over to Patreon. If y'all want to see a continuation of this conversation, y'all gonna have to click over to Patreon. Patreon.com/The Locker.
I'm gonna leave it at that. You said what you said. I'm gonna leave it at that. I will say this. And here's the one thing where I keep trying to tell people. And like I said, if Stoops go 500 this year, if he goes 6-6, stay off his back. Give him a chance because he back in his bag. Now he come out with a 2-8.
Oh,
I mean, a 2-10 or another 4-8.
Yeah,
I don't say this year. Next year, first game you lose, you shouldn't lose. It's probably gonna be a bad. I say this, and this is why I said we've been building for years. It's been guys coming in trying to replicate this person, doing this, Bully McCall, this, da. Like I said, it's been guys coming in on top of guys trying to replicate other guys and trying to keep this program where it's at. And that's what it took. This is the one thing that got me scratching my head. And I know, just because I know, that shit don't make no more sense. Keyshawn Silver played along Deion. You was the man coming back. You decide that, well, Deion made this much, this is how much I'm supposed to make. So that's what I want the fan base to understand. So when y'all talking about who's leaving, Berrien, Dane, Harley, with them offensive linemen, I know y'all don't care about them, but I'm saying Chip, Brock, dude, you know how much money we spent on them people? Now, mind you, we took all the money from them because we said, look, we can't pay you what you paying. I've been saying for years, we need to pay our production. Like you said last week, Dane is probably the only one who probably earned his paycheck weekly. Or at least, we just ain't got a lot of opportunities because of offensive line.
He had an ROI. We got a return on investment with Dane.
Yeah.
It might not been the highest, but we got at least some return on investment.
Now, Keyshawn, if you that dude, you got this front to yourself. Brad White gonna put you in position. Your thing is you not playing for a certain amount of money. Now, the one thing about Kentucky, we are loyal to our players to a fault. So where do you go? USC or some shit? Where do you go?
Yes, USC.
And okay, go out there and F around and find out. You have to be on the bench, but I guess they got to pay you the money. That's why they gotta temper this money. You don't get this money until you complete. I don't know no job. And that's why it was kind of tripping me out. It's name, image, and likeness. They paying you because of who you are. But when they become employees, ain't that supposed to be next year? When they become employees of this university, no play, no pay. Ain't no what job in America, especially at a 6-figure salary, can you not show up? Yeah, you get about a week of sick days, maybe 5 days, 3 days.
Your first job, no, you don't get nothing.
Not your first Joan. Yeah, not your first Joan, but at that level, I'm sure they're gonna throw you a bone.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, in NFL, if you don't play, you get a reduced salary.
Yeah. They got a whole nother structure for you. A whole nother structure.
There's a whole nother structure. You drop down to a whole nother salary structure.
So you can stay over here if you want to.
Or even worse, they'll give you an injury settlement.
Yeah.
Get your ass up out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Look. I was at a point, Anthony, before this season where I started to feel like athletes were getting a little too much. To a point. I was starting to feel that way. Not really, but I was starting to feel, I don't want to say sorry for the university or for the NCAA, but I was always on the athletes. But here's the deal. When the SEC added Oklahoma and Texas, when the Big Ten added USC and Oregon and Washington or whatever.
UCLA too.
Did they add UCLA? I thought UCLA went to the Big 12. I don't know. When the Big 12 added those teams, so now we have 16, 18, 22, 30 team conferences. Players need to get everything because now you just added. Now you added playoff structure where there's more games. So instead of when we play 11, then they added another one, 12, then they added SEC championship 13, then they added a BCS championship 14, then they added now a playoff where it's 4 teams. So now you add a potential 2 more. Now they're adding a whole. You can play 15, 16 games now.
That's the NFL schedule.
So now when they did that, it was already bad when they made 12, then added SEC championship game or conference championship game. Now they add more. No, players deserve every penny. I don't care if you don't play or not. The the amount of money colleges make. I've said this many times. If you watched this before, you know what the numbers are. When I left college, the SEC conference made $40-some million. Back in 2021 or 2019, whatever that year was, the conference paid Kentucky $40+ million. That's how much money these people are making, not the players, the conference, the presidents, the institutions. Now, finally, players are able to get a piece of the pie. And this is only through NIL. Now, they're going to have to start paying them, but they look strictly through NIL. I have no problems with a young man saying, I have no chance of making the NFL. And if I do, it's going to be a 6th-round pick. Let me get a couple $1 million while I'm still here. No problem with it.
I don't know you ever had a problem. I think this stuff should have been tempered and there should have been some expectations, because now these players are costing coaches their job. They're costing fan bases, because fan bases don't want to pay that money to go out and see a poor product because you're not preparing. You're not doing. And I agree exactly with what you're saying. The problem I got is that, Van, I was with you. We was both on the same page from the beginning. Dude, it's billions of dollars being made in this industry. And you mean to tell me for me to ask for 100,000, and I'm talking about even if, like I said, Dan Key top in the team. So everybody who pays, however much money we make, I deserve a large chunk out of it because my stat line is higher than a lot of other people. Deion Walker got paid whatever he got paid, whenever he got it paid. And now all of a sudden, our fan base is about to shut down because Deion Walker decided, I'm only going to practice on Thursday. Walk through. I got to recover all week. Now, I'm saying, I've seen Jeff Snedeker. You done seen Billy Jack Haskins walk around shoulder hanging off. I'm out here. I got to get these reps in just so my teammates know where I'm going to be, when I'm supposed to be, and how it's going to happen. So I understand what you're saying. I agree with you totally. The whole idea you saying you agree with it now because of all the extra games ain't the point. No, they've been deserving to get paid for it. And I was a little bit apprehensive and cautious about these guys were going to get this type of money and sit on it. I ain't using no cuss words. I used them all last week. You are effing a lot of people. You are effing the coach, because if you don't perform and we pay you all that money, you effing the person behind you who wants an opportunity. You are effing the fan base who don't want to go 4-8. Like, they got to do something about this shit. They got to do something. And I was on board, but I also told you and all of our followers 4 years ago.
You did.
What it was, but I never expected for just an entity to be like, you know what? We're gonna open up the gates. We're gonna let everybody in first. Then we're gonna organize them. No, you had a barrier set up. You had a lane set up. You had a teller set up. You don't just let everybody in and hey, come in. Hey, you open. No, and that's kind of what happened. So I kind of hear what you're saying. I just feel, and I think Mark Stoops. And like I said, I don't fault Mark Stoops. Now, has he gotten lazy with $9 million? I think so. But I do think that he's rededicated himself. I do think he's rededicated himself. And if you are a true fan, I feel like, let's see what he's going to do. Now, he done worked his ass off. If he goes 6-6, if he do anything better than 6-6, give his ass another raise.
Hey, he humbled himself. No, he was humbled this season and knew he had to do something different than what he was doing the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And if y'all look at the type of guys he's bringing in, not one of them are prima donnas.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
What's up, coach?
Yeah, but I do think, and like I said, you went to coaching now, man. We ain't got a whole lot of time. We might talk a little UK basketball, boys or girls, whatever. I know you on one side more than the other, and I've been keeping up, man. Old Coach Brooks got me in there. I'm in there checking them out. And plus, I told Georgia Amore if she want any parts of this action, she can get it. Like she talking about she was cold at rugby and whoop de woo. Nah, Georgia, you don't want these problems. Dang, I forgot where I was leading to when I where were we going with this whole thing? About the players. So my point is, if they want Stoops, like you said, bring these players in and be hard on these players. I'm not sure if Stoops is going to do that, but if Stoops is going to change his game up, because and this is the one thing I want the fan base to understand and get off him. Yeah, he can go to Jeff Ruby's. He can drink as much as he wants to inside of his house. I mean, he ain't Billy Clyde Gillespie, or I don't know who the other guy was, the other basketball coach that was drinking all the time that lost his job because of drinking. Well, the listeners know. Sutton. Yeah, Sutton. So my point is, Stoops earned his stripes from being loyal to his players, letting them get down and letting them know, look, man, as long as you show up on Saturday. I don't know if you remember back in my day, it was a little after you left, Mississippi State, before they did the kickoff, they used to do that thing. Who let your dogs out? And they used to dance. And I played in an all-star game with two of their defensive players, and I was like, man, just like he said, if y'all don't, as long as y'all don't get a kickoff return on y'all can do whatever y'all want. So they orchestrated stuff, and that was their incentive to not let anybody get a touchdown returned on. My point being is Stoops has always been a player's coach. He's always let them do what they want to do. You are the one who's right. Like you said the players need to be the one in the locker rooms making these guys know that, hey, this ain't the way we get down. But Stoops being the way he is why we got to where we are. Because guys stayed here, guys played for him, guys respected him. Now the almighty dollar is making that decision. So they saying, Coach, just like I said, like Keyshawn Silver, Coach, I need this much. Like, between you and I, man, should be Patreon, but Silver got to have surgery.
Oh, man, you got to say that on Patreon. You giving out too much juice.
With the dump button.
Hold on, that's too much juice.
With the dump button, I'm going to dump that.
That's too much juice. So y'all done bought
damaged property. Y'all done bought a lemon. But, like I said, it shouldn't be that type of stuff, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, the game has changed from the way we grew up playing it. And there ain't nothing we can do about it. We can't be old men crying about it. But we do got to respect, I think, as a fan base, not as us, because, you know, we lived it. And my expectations are for you to go through what I went through. I'm not going to be mad you didn't have to go through, just like you don't want your kids living the way you had to live when you were younger. Correct. But I do think the fan base, you saying Mark Stoops, whoop-de-woo. No, Mark Stoops has done all the right things. The landscape has changed. Give him a chance to change with it. Okay. He done wiped out the slate. He done said, look, no, Keyshawn, we not paying you this much. All y'all bearing for you to run jet sweeps and whatever
drop
little route you run, we not paying you this much. LSU, I mean, down there in Baton Rouge, y'all might have that much money to buy you. I don't know. But I'm here for it. If you're a fan, I'm here for it.
It's gonna be interesting. Because LSU has a wide receiver coach. I don't think he puts up with too much jacking off. And Brian Kelly definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting how that blends. How he fits in that room with those coaches. Because Brian Kelly don't mince nothing. No mince words for him. He don't even cut his words. They ain't even chopped up. They ain't even finely chopped. Them jokers come out in chunks. So it's gonna be interesting.
He ain't even slicing them, huh?
Yeah, he ain't even. Sheesh. So
yeah, man. So sheesh, man. We got John Calipari coming to town this weekend.
apparently so, huh?
Before we get out of here, man, it's about time for us to get out of here, man. We gave him their hour, man. We've been on snow break for a month.
Really?
Well, I've been on snow break for a month.
It's about to get bad here next
We
week.
went on winter break like the 18th or something like that.
Yep.
And dude, we ain't
Y'all
been
feel
back
that?
yet. Tomorrow's our
You
first
ain't been
day
back?
back. We've been on snow for 2 weeks.
You still ain't been back to school?
Tomorrow's our first day going back, and we got Martin Luther King off on Monday.
Damn.
So we're gonna go back Thursday, Friday,
And then
Monday.
Monday.
We can try to start the year back off.
Damn. That's a blessing. At least for you. The kids know.
Nah,
No,
we gotta. Nah, we don't play Arkansas. We don't play Arkansas for a couple. We play Arkansas February 1st. We play Alabama Saturday. We gotta, but no, I mean, we're gonna have to go to school all the way halfway through the summer.
Yeah, you're right. Because
We
y'all
gotta
miss
make
them
them
days.
days up.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yes. Yes.
Here at UK.
UK. We got Anthony. This is the worst part about it is how do we go to South Carolina, sneak someone from Tim Hall to come to Kentucky? That's the one that got me.
So she from South Carolina.
He's from South Carolina and came to Kentucky. Shermel Holmes is no joke. She is the real deal. And I don't want to get. We have Victoria on the team already, who I thought is going to solidify that team because she's been here. I think she's got to be a senior now. She's been one that's been biding her time, and I think now this is her year since everybody's. She is the vet on the team now, and it's going to be interesting. Can she propel Holmes to run outside of herself because she's going to have to run with Victoria? That's going to be an interesting one.
Huh. Yeah. So we still up in the ante over there in track.
Track still strong, man.
Coach Green ain't the coach no more, is he? Is he still the coach? Coach Green?
Yeah. What? He ain't going nowhere.
Okay. I know
I
we
mean,
had.
I don't see him. I would have. I think he would have went to Arkansas, but Arkansas kept their guy there. And I think the only place he'll probably go is Texas. And I don't think Flo is going anywhere anytime soon there. So
Flo from here? Flo from here?
Yeah.
Went to Texas.
You know that's how Green got the job. Flo left to go to Texas.
Yeah, I remember Flo.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Green was at Arkansas for 20 years, maybe 15 years.
Green. So Kentucky is a better job than Arkansas?
No. Arkansas got their coach. Their coach, what's the guy's name? Their coach is young. Yeah. He ain't going nowhere. That's this dream job.
I thought you said, where do we get Green from?
We got Green from Arkansas.
That's what I'm saying. So Kentucky was more alluring.
No. Arkansas had their coach. Arkansas had a coach been there for forever.
So Green was an assistant.
Yeah.
Arkansas
just changed coaches. Green been here 4 or 5 years. They just I think this is his second year as coach of Arkansas.
Got you. Okay.
Dude, Anthony, listen to me. Kentucky track was good when we were here.
I remember Tim Hard and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Dwight Phillips. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So we have a little history here with track. This is great. And then they just built him a new indoor facility, upgrade the outdoor facility. So no, I don't think there's too much here, and with him getting Sydney to come here and having her progress to her level, his cachet is high in the track world. I don't think he's going anywhere soon, anytime soon.
Right. That makes sense, man. That makes sense.
Yeah, Green is a dog, man. And he just had another Olympic champion in Russell. Yeah, dude. He's doing damn good here. Now, we ain't going to win no SEC championship because same reason why we can't win SEC championship in football. Exact
What you
same
call
reason.
it didn't win? You said we won with Russell. What did Sydney do?
No, Sydney won. Sydney is the face of U.S. track.
Yeah, you said we won. Like you act like Messiah's was the one that.
No, what I'm saying. So that was just another. Like he had Camacho Quinn. He had Kenny. No, I
Oh
think
yeah,
Kenny was before him.
damn, yeah, he did. He had a couple people. You
He
right?
had Camacho. Then he had Kenny came before Camacho. Then Camacho. And then we got Sydney. And then we got Masai. He's gonna always have a hurdler. And we got a couple of young hurdlers now. I don't know if they're gonna get. You know, it's kind of hard. It's like Pat Ewing playing against Michael Jordan. They got some good hurdlers, but damn, they're coming behind some legends.
Right. Well,
right. No, that's it.
we ain't deep enough. We only good in I thought we had a thrower. I thought we had a thrower shake something this year too.
Yeah, it's
Are you saying
early,
other teams in the SEC they well rounded, huh?
I mean, we had Keaton in the pole vault. That was good, but now he's graduated. We had D-Rob in the hurdles for men. Like, hey, we get some dudes and girls. Just we stay. Abby's not now. Abby's got to get herself healthy, but
She's been injury prone for a while, though, ain't she?
But and she's in the wrong country. I'm just sorry. She sprints. We have too much talent, and there's just more talent coming up. That's a tough sprints. 100, 200, just tough. She's definitely a top 5 U.S. athlete, but we only can take top 3.
Yeah.
And LSU, Cobby. LSU is always up there. Georgia is making their climb back up too, and Tennessee is starting with guy from NC State on North Carolina A&T, not NC State, North Carolina A&T. It's just a tough conference, man. Oklahoma's good in track too.
We about to be that dude.
So,
all right, man. Sheesh, man. There we go. That's the show, man. I gotta go back to school tomorrow, man. I've been on for a whole month. Man, I don't even know what my office look like. It's probably frigid in there. Got cobwebs in it.
Right.
Anyways, so man, I appreciate you, man. And I'm glad to see you back over here tweeting and twittering and YouTube, whatever it is you doing. I'm glad to see you healthy, man. Glad to see you pull through on your situation. I know a lot of people were praying and looking out for you. Could have been minor, could have been major. I don't know what it was, but the locker appreciates you.
For sure.
Yeah, gonna get up out of here, man. Before we get up out of here, I know I'm gonna say this before we get up out of here. I'm gonna ask you this, and we're gonna get on. You said if the women's basketball team lose 6 games, that'd be a good season. You still see that, or you see something different in them? I think they still getting better. Like it seems like they still growing. That's why it's getting scary.
Because Ole Miss is a team I thought we have trouble. I still think their style of play, that physicality, quickness, speed, athleticism, might give us an issue. You still got South Carolina, still got Texas, you still got LSU. Dude, if we can lose only 4 games, here's the crazy part. If we lose 4 games, I guess 4 conference games, we lose 5 games total. If we're not a top 2 seed, it's a shame. In this conference, don't lose 4 games to go 12-4, and let the losses only be to LSU, South Carolina, maybe Tennessee and Texas. If those are only losses, and we're not top 2 seed, it's a problem. But we beat some teams.
I did want to ask you this. Then I'm telling you, after this, we gone. We out of here. I did want to ask you. I keep asking Larry Vaughn, Georgia Amore, and I'm saying you play point guard a little bit. I play shoot guard. They ain't let me play point guard a whole lot. I don't know if my handles was where they wanted. But Georgia Amore is always trying to dribble through traps, presses, and it is obvious you got two other people in the backcourt with you. And she tried to, whenever you pass it to the person on the wing, they just disperse the press. Like they just stop the press and just settle back into defense. But she decides all the time to try and dribble through it. And if she can't make it through it, then she give it to them. She's exerting too much energy. And Larry's like, well, she knows what she's doing. I hope and I do. I got confidence that she knows what she's doing. Is it setting you up for down the road? No. And maybe she's setting teams up. Maybe she's playing. The teams think she's going to try and dribble through them all the time. So she's setting teams up to try and trap her. And then when they do that, we get easy buckets, diagonal passes. But have you noticed that as I have? And I keep saying, I don't like that at all. Just because she plays so many minutes. But lately, she's been only playing 30, 32 minutes rather than 40.
That's Anthony. That's the problem. We have two girls that had injuries prior to the season. I don't think when they take D. Lawrence out, I don't think she feels comfortable with whomever is taking her spot. She feels
Tyler been doing good. Tyler been decent.
Who that?
Tyler?
No. And she just started playing the last probably 5 games.
No, we need it. But I'm saying, hold on. I'm gonna listen to you. I want to say this because Georgia keeps dribbling through the shit, and whatever the case might be, let Brooks see what it looks like so he can devise a plan. If you're not available, or if you have to get the ball out of your hands, I understand what you're saying. My whole thing is, let's see. And because when she was sitting out, the one game I was watching, well, I watched several, but the diagonal, all it takes is diagonal pass, and that's simple. And Brooks can draw that up if you know that's what's going to happen. Her whole thing is she going to dribble all the way around the court. And I'm just like, dude, come on, man. You don't, if the person standing where she dribbled to, and you taking the double team all the way around there. But then again, like I said, I'm hoping they playing chess. Like, hey, that's what everybody's preparing for, and that's not what's going to happen when we get in tournament time.
The same way earlier this season, I can't remember the team we played. She took that crazy shot at the end of regulation.
Oh, yeah.
That's look, she feels, I would say this, Anthony. We all know she's the best player on the team.
Right.
And right or wrong, I'm going to live and die with her making that decision, right or wrong. It's kind of like Braun, right? Kind of like, not in a bad way, but you know how people say Braun makes the right play all the time? And why don't Braun just take it over?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's that's on the other end. Georgia, why won't you make the right play and pass it to your open teammate?
Right.
Yes, you were right. Get the ball. And here's the thing I was taught. Get the ball out your hands, you can get the ball right back.
Right.
So,
and if it's two people on you, that means there's somebody on the court somewhere open.
And if you pass and move, you wide open. I get you. Anthony, see, people don't understand that we both are basketball people. They don't get it. But we will let them sleep on our basketball knowledge. There's too many other people want to talk about basketball. I would say this: it's a rough thing as a coach, especially. It seems like Kenny is a player's coach too, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna let my point guard
Yeah.
see the game on the court.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her. We're gonna fight. We're gonna live through her mistakes. But I've also coached her 3+ years, and I know what she can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel you though. Yeah, she should get rid of the ball sometime.
All right, man. Sheesh. We appreciate y'all, man. We into 2025, man.
The middle of January already.
Yeah,
This is the middle of January.
Yeah, I was questionable about going into 2025 and still into media, and it's still gonna be questionable for a while, man. Hey, as long as these green guys keep coming in, shit, hey. But we do it for fun, man. As long as we keep doing it for fun, that's fine, man. Y'all keep showing up and showing out, man. Supporting, man. Actually, y'all support each other, man. I like when y'all be in the chat, man, chatting with each other, man. So I can say everybody rallied around Ann when Ann had her surgery, man. Everybody rallied around checking on them. That's what we here for, man. That's what the locker room is about,
That's what
man.
the locker room is about.
That's what the locker room is about, man. We appreciate all that. Will we be back next week? Yep, I ain't leaving until Friday. So we'll be back next week. Go ahead on over to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Like, subscribe, share, follow, and bring your friends along. Share it on your page, man. And hit that like button. We got one on there, but that's only on Facebook. Man, slap that like button when you get a chance. Let everybody know you appreciate what's going on. Let everybody know you're being heard. Man, give us a little motivation to keep going, man. Sometimes, Van had to get off a meeting. I ain't want to get him, but hey, we showed up because we know that's what the people wanted. All right. Van, for me, we out of here.